Day 2 of the NDP convention is underway in Edmonton, and all eyes are on Tom Mulcair. The current leader is hoping he'll still have a job after Sunday's vote. Mulcair faces a leadership review tomorrow, and it's believed he needs at least 70% of delegate support to maintain his leadership of the federal party. Mulcair says he is still valuable to the party, despite the bitter election defeat last fall. Well, for more on this, CTV's Janet Dirks joins us now from the convention in Edmonton. Janet, today, day number 2 of the convention. Bring us up to speed, if you will, with what's gone on so far.
About 2,000 delegates from across the country are here to weigh in on issues, what direction they want the party to go in, and perhaps most importantly, most dramatically, to vote on Thomas Mulcair. Will they give him support to carry on? That vote is tomorrow morning. He's going to give a keynote address, or rather a speech, at 10 o'clock. Then at 11 o'clock, the delegates will vote. At noon, the results will be coming in. And if Tom Mulcair gets 70% of their support, as he has suggested he wants, and as the outgoing president has said he needs, he would stay on. If he gets 50+1, as the NDP's constitution says is a win, I don't know that he would stay on. That's pretty faint praise for him. I think he would likely step down, and they would call a leadership convention within a year. If he gets between 50 to 70%, anything could happen. It would depend on how he feels about that and what advice he's getting. So people are getting ready for tomorrow's vote, and we're hearing opinions on both sides, whether he should stay or whether he should go.
Tom Mulcair has been talking with reporters, of course, Janet. He seemed upbeat about his chances at the convention. What's he been saying?
He says he's confident. He's been talking to people. He's been smiling. Last night he was put a bit through the mill. There was a campaign review report that was discussed, and people came forward and had some complaints, some former candidates, some candidates who lost, who said, if you're going to change your platform several times, would you please keep the candidates apprised of that? Other people said, you can't base what you're going to do with the leader based on one election. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. He took it under the chin, looked concerned. We were all focused on him during that report. I think he's worried. He has to be. He's fighting for his political life. Now, I just want to show you something interesting, Brad. There have been complaints already about the lanyard. On this lanyard, there's NDP, but there's also Tom Mulcair on the lanyard. So people were concerned about that. I also want to show you some buttons. There are 3 buttons. One says Tom Mulcair, one says beard a part of it, and the other just says the generic NDP. But talking to people in the hallway, I think it's not 2/3 versus 1/3. It may be half and half in terms of their support for their leader.
Well, I just want to go back to what you just pointed out. Why is that a concern that his name happens to be on the lanyard, for instance?
I think the concern from people who are not supporting him is that could influence those into voting for him, into supporting him. It's that petty. This is really critical for this party in terms of who their leader could be and what they're going to do. They were all, I think, ready to win that last election. They went in with 103 seats. They were viewed as the one to watch for. Ended up with 44 seats, wiped out pretty much in Quebec and Ontario. Toronto had no MPs returning. So that was a big blow for this party. And now they're trying to figure out how they can put the pieces together. Last night's session was kind of a where did we go wrong? Now they have to figure out what do we do now, what direction do we take, and who do we want to lead us into that future.
Well, Janet, within the next 10 minutes, we're going to be speaking with the Secretary and Acting Policy Director of the Young Democrats. And in the meantime, CTV's Janet Dirks at the NDP convention in Edmonton. Thanks very much for this, Janet.
Thanks, Brad.
The CTV News Channel will bring you complete coverage of the NDP convention and Sunday's leadership review right here on CTV News Channel.